What's up guys, welcome back from the Yugioh Pro Duel video, Dueling Dinosaurs TCG when Miko is released this weekend, right? It should be this weekend with the sneak preview. Anyway, very straightforward list, kind of similar when, when I last playtested Dueling Dinosaurs featuring Miko a couple of months ago when it was first revealed back in the OCG, but of course with triple miscellaneous source. Excellent card, of course, against the hand traps. Triple call by the grave, you want your Oviraptor to go through. The card, or at least the deck is sitting at 44 cards, which again is somewhat justified. It feels somewhat justified because of the couple of Garnets in your main deck. Well, you have like the multiple level 9s. Basically targets for your one-off hero lives, right? Your World Legacy, what is it called? World Legacy Bargaining, I believe the name is. It's not too bad if you draw them, but again, you just want to have them in your deck to be special summoned off of your searchable Reborn or special summoning spell, Bargaining or Burgeoning, you know which one I mean, that you searched off of Miko. For the rest, I don't, well, again, like always, feel free to leave feedback, other options, but like Phantasme, for example, but the deck again is already counting 44 cards, and that already feels a lot. I wanted to fit in more Dueling monsters. I saw another list, a 40 card list by the way, with Fire Kings, a Fire King Island, but I'm not really sure about that. The downside of Fire King Island, it pops like your own entire field, so I'm not really sure about that. But the fact that I might main deck more Dueling monsters is something I definitely want to try out in the future. Going first this time using, well, basically like the standard field spell engine, I guess, with triple diagram indeed and one of Lost World. Lost World, well, it depends, right? But it feels that I might want to main deck more copies of Lost World, simply because it's so good going first and going second, especially with triple miscellaneous source, increasing the consistency of the deck and of course giving you more protection against your opponent's hand traps. And that's where the potential Lost World field spell also can come into play. Give you protection against your opponent's hand traps. Very staple, very standard opening play here. Unless, of course, you're drawing into multiple Garnets, but that's how it is, right? That's how it is with a lot of decks. Going for the, well, any generic Link 2 monster, or in this case, was able to go for Deco Talker, being generic Link 3, and opening up at least 2 extra monster zones for the, to do level 9 indeed, level 9, rank 9 Exceed plays, especially going for Calamities, blocking your opponents. Well, mainly, if I look at the current top tier decks, a lot of decks, or most decks, are based around monster effects, very little on spells and traps, but I'm looking at Orcus, I'm looking at Thunder Dragons, mainly monster effect based, so King of Calamities or Calamities is such a bonkers card against those decks, basically a win condition, right? Anyway, so the Reproducus, I believe the name is quite solid. Not, well, before, and that's also the last time I played this deck was with double summon sorcerers, but it's somewhat of a hinder before, going for Reproducus, going for summon sorcerers was just far too easy. Easy opening up, let's say, another rank 4 Exceed play for like a, Lagia or Dolka next to Calamities or whatever, but without summon sorcerers, getting this particular field isn't really that hard, bar of course multiple interruptions and you breaking. But again, that's how it is in today's format, right? If your opponent has multiple hand traps, or if you draw, in this particular case, multiple Garnets in your opening hand. Anyway, going second. The Ash Blossom is lurking here. I think I had to use Ash Blossom here on the Pot of Desires. He's still got a counter, I guess, on the, what is it called, one of the smaller Endymions, and that's a problem, right? It basically searches any good Pendulum monster from your, well, negate, Avian or like Pendulum monster from your deck, potentially setting up an Electromite play, and at the same time just pop your small Endymion monster, put it back in your scale, and like from 3 cards? I think 3 cards indeed, well, eventually he's like, yeah, indeed, because of the field spell, but making multiple negations here with the Boral's Savage Dragon, with Vortex as well, and of course with you know, the Jackal, it's what can I do, right? The Pseudo indeed coming in clutch as well on his part. Anyway, going first this time again, Miscellaneous Source back at 3, increase the consistency, increasing the potential chance of opening with either Miscellaneous Source or of course Call by the Grave to give some extra protection against Effect Failure and Ash Blossom. Let's face it, if your opponent is able to Ash Blossom your normal summon Oviraptor, you need to have, you know, a good hand to have a somewhat of a follow-up play after that. I'm looking at Diagram, for example. Yeah, Diagram is like, True King popping the babies, something like that, right? Anyway, a very staple, a very easy field to make, double rank 9 Exceed play, the, what is it called, Enter Bleth here, I believe the name is, getting rid of one of your opponent's cards if it survives, which is quite common if you can put Calamities next to it, of course, unless your opponent has the board wipe or the Kaiju or whatever, right? But in most decks nowadays, that's not really too relevant, bar, of course, the Kaijus. Anyway, so dropping Oviraptor, dropping Dolka as well. Yeah, here, I'm not really sure why, but overlooked the Fog Blade. Of course, I always should have gone for Boral Sword, and that would have been game, if I'm not mistaken. But again, it's not going to matter too much. With only 2 cards left, again, going for Dolka was the fairly staple option, right? I think I had the Miscellaneous Source here in my graveyard as well as a potential follow-up play for a potential another Oviraptor. So yeah, my duel, right? My game. Going second this time. Definitely a solid, good opening hand, opening Oviraptor, the potential field spell. Still have a choice of going for Diagram indeed, or the Lost World, the field spell for Dinosaurs. He definitely has a good opening hand on his part as well, having the potential interruption here with Roar, I believe, the one of hand trap. So that's quite decent, not the best, but it's fine, I guess. So because of the 2 sets, one of them probably being indeed the Rota for, you know, for Salamangreats, going for Lost World to give Oviraptor some extra protection. And here is where the Water True King finally can come into play because of Miko being a water attribute and then special summoning the World Chalice normal monster. You could potentially play the level 4, which can potentially opening up like a rank 4 Exceed play if with Reaper-Docus can turn itself into a dinosaur type and again opening up a Lyca or Dolka play. That's definitely an option. But I do prefer running the level 3 because it's a fire attribute, and of course for the Fire True King. Again, a solid comeback, I guess. Going for Calamities again, blocking his monster effects, and that's just deadly against a deck like Salamangreats. And if it's not able to get something like, what's it called? You know, the Raigeki Break or the multiple pop card for Salamangreats. You know what's what I mean. Rage. It's Rage, right? I think so. Anyway, last example, going second again against Cosmos. Not really the most relevant deck, but still quite of a decent deck, right? My opening hand is quite delicious, using, I think we knew he had Slip Rider, so kind of forcing out the small tin can, but it leaves me going for Oviraptor, and luckily again, either Miscellaneous Source or Call by the Grave, 6 cards, right? 1 out of 6 chance. Well, it's of course a little bit different compared to how many cards you opened with, but you know what I mean. You have 6 chances to draw into your, you know, hand trap negator against your opponent. Anyway, so drop the double evolution, currently a 1-of in the deck, but it's also one of those cards that I definitely want to fit in more, because it's like a comeback card and can be like your last resort. But yeah, anyway, so leaving, well, I'm not really sure why, but probably a misclick, I guess, but didn't really matter too much if he tagged out with another, with Strawman or something. I always would have used my Conductor to put the ship face down, and then Dolka would have just negated the special summoning effect. So again, in the long run, it wouldn't have mattered that much. So again, like always, this is currently my list. Counting 44 cards, but again, it's quite justified, it feels, because of the couple of bricks, lowering the chances of you opening with a World Chalice monster, with opening, well, the level 9s, I guess, the extra level 9s. It's not really that bad, because, you know, you have Diagram, you have the True Kings, which can potentially use them as Father, Tribute Father, or Destruction Father, so it's not really too bad, but it's not really that optimal either. So again, like always, feel free to leave feedback. The Ultra or Double Evolution pill is also one of those cards that I definitely want to fit in more, but finding space is quite difficult. Same for Phantasme. Phantasme, in theory, should be quite good of sending back those dead cards, but okay. Guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.